quite interesting. It does leave you scratching your head a bit. 617 litres in the boot of this CR-V. The Honda CR-V is one of the world's best-selling mid to large SUVs. This is the 6th generation model and it's now available as a plug-in hybrid, which is this one right here. Today I'm going to be telling you all about it and what makes this a great vehicle. We'll be looking at all the upsides and downsides, of course, of this car and giving it a thorough review. First of all, a huge thanks to Kendal Honda for making this video possible, and Mike Spinks, who's the sales manager. This is the demonstrator car at Kendal Honda, so if you do want to test drive a car, it will be this one, and it's the advanced tech model. Let's get on with the review. Now, there's 3 trim levels on the CR-V. You've got the Elegance, the Advanced and the Advanced Tech. This is the Advanced Tech top of the range model, which starts at just under £54,000. It's the plug-in hybrid model. Advanced Tech, you get all this body colour cladding. These front lower sections as well, Advanced Tech, they're in body colour. Everything is much more angular and less curvy than what it used to be. You've got this large grille here as well. This is in gloss black on all models. This top section here though is in gloss black. On the Elegance and Advanced, this is in chrome. You don't have front fog lamps anymore on any models, which you did have on the previous model, but these LED headlamps are very clever now. There's not a massive need for them, but some people will miss having those at the front of the vehicle. So what are the colour options on the CR-V? As standard, you get the crystal black pearlescent paintwork, which is really lovely. If you want to go up to other metallic colours, they're £675. So you've got this platinum white. You've got an all new colour called Canyon River, which is really lovely as well. You've got the, oh wow, it looks like it's starting to rain a bit heavier. The body colour which I really like is the new Gold Titan paintwork, and that is £675, but it can only be had on the Advanced Tech and not on the self-charging lower models, unfortunately. So premium paintworks are £995 and normal metallics are £675. Your standard is the crystal black paintwork. Okay then, what are your alloy wheel options on the CR-V? Across all of the wheels, they're all 18 inches. You may think that's a little small, but it means you have excellent ride comfort and a really decent chunky sidewall. It also helps with range because it reduces the drag. So as standard on Elegance and Advanced, you get the same design wheel as this Tech, but they're in a dark grey. On the Advanced Tech, they come in black. You do have 2 optional extra wheels as well, which you can opt for. You've got the CR1811s, which are my favourite, and also the most expensive, so I just have expensive taste. We've established that by now. They are £1,460. You do also have the CR1812s, which are gloss black alloys, just in the other design, like the same as the Diamond Cut. They're £1,420, but the Diamond Cut wheels are rather nice. Standard wheels though, they've done a great job. You don't really need to upgrade them. They look great. Some people would say they look a little small, but I think they are quite good, and well done Honda for doing something a little bit different. You don't need to slam huge alloys on a car, just put the right ones on for the vehicle. America loves the CR-V, which is why it's got these actual orange reflectors, which is federal law in America. You've got to have on these like reflectors or in the headlights, but they've decided to put them on the side of the bumper. It's not to everyone's taste, it doesn't really bother me. And obviously it has a purpose. I don't normally like the look of these reflectors, but I don't think this is that offensive because it's on the side rather than inside the light. If it was inside the light, it might annoy me a bit, but that's not too bad. It does a job, so I'm not really fussed by that. The rear design of the CR-V is excellent. I love these tail lamps now as they're a lot darker. The other ones were starting to look quite dated as they're quite light in colour, and then you've got this bit inside. It's a bit more of a fussy design. You've got a lot more chrome going on. These are much better. They're kind of like what was available on the black edition of the previous generation. They had very similar lights to this. In fact, in America, the facelift model of this car had those sort of tinted lights, which aren't dissimilar to the brand new model. It's a very Volvo look. It's unmistakably a Volvo vibe to it, but you have less of a kind of upright section now. I think they look excellent. They've done a very good job of it. Arguably, these CR-Vs always had a Volvo-esque sort of style to it, I think, anyway. And you've got a more boxy shape now, which is leaning back into the first and second generation of CR-V. So this back bumper is rather attractive on the Advanced Tech model. It's all body coloured. On the Elegance and Advanced, it's black plastic. This kind of looks like it's got what the old Aero Pack was, which basically made everything a little bit like a sportier body kit in body colour. But this is not the Aero Pack, this is just the Advanced Tech. The Aero Pack is now essentially a chrome package. So on the other models, which have got the black plastic bumper, it just has like a chrome insert here. Of course, this being the Advanced Tech, it says PHEV, and on the Elegance and Advanced, it'll just say EHEV. You've got these nice chrome surrounds on the rear exhaust, which look really good. They're very premium looking, what you would normally see on more premium cars like BMWs and Volvos. If this tailgate spoiler isn't big enough for you, you can opt for a larger one. So then, what is the interior like on the new CR-V? Well, it's pretty good and it's changed quite a bit from before. You've got wireless charging pad, you've got large cup holders, you've got this centre cubby here. It's a little bit more simple than on the previous CR-V, which was a bit complicated in the centre tunnel. You do have the sunroof now standard on all models, which is great to see. I'm really liking that, especially for its price point. It's good that they're trying to justify it by having things as standard. So panoramic sunroof is standard on all cars now. This dark headlining is on the Advanced Tech. The Elegance and Advanced have a light headlining and the sunroof. These seats are very comfortable. I do quite like a fabric or a Alcantara style seat. Leather is nice. There's only available in this black leather. So this black leather is what you get across the range. So cars like the Nissan X-Trail, for example, have black leather, tan leather, cream leather, and different fabric and cloth options. On the Volkswagen range as well, they have lots of Alcantara. It won't be for everyone, the leather seats. The sides are synthetic, as are the headrests, and the rest of the seat is genuine, so it's not all genuine leather. You've got ventilated seats as well, which apparently make a noise. Okay. It sounds like a fan. They're essentially cooling seats, which is kind of insane to think about. I've never actually sat in a car with ventilated seats. They're really adding the tech on this and they're doing all they can to justify its price, which we'll move on to in a little bit. Cameras look quite impressive, to be fair. It's a bit crazy that it's only on the top models that get it. There's another feature that CR-V has with the cameras, which is very handy. On both ends of the stalks, you can actually see the different angles. So you can have the side, or you can have my favourite, which is like the both sides view. So if you're going for a width restriction or something like that, it's very handy. These are the wing mirrors for the 360-degree cameras. You can see their cameras are just there. So we've got the centre 9-inch touchscreen that we've seen on the Civic, on the HR-V as well. I really like the system. It's very easy to use. It's one of the easiest on the market to use as well, because you've got your physical climate controls. It's a very good system. There is one thing that annoys me about it, and it still annoys me. It's slightly facing away from the driver, so it's facing towards the European side, which is just a little bit of an oversight there. I wouldn't class them as the best in the industry now, but I would say they're incredibly easy to use and the graphics are much crisper and clearer. You know exactly what to expect with it. You've got wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto as standard. You've got just all your little different shortcuts, things like that. It's just very easy to find what you want. For example, if I want to play Heart, I could just pop it on and hold it down, and then you've got it, save buttons. It's just, everyone kind of can get in this car and just use the screen and kind of know what to expect. So I really like that about it. Should we hear the Bose premium sound system? Let's see how good it is. Enough of that, I'll get a copyright strike. But no, you can hear that it's a very good sound system. The Bose premium sound system is excellent. I tried it in the ZR-V as well, which is on the Advance on the ZR-V. The actual jump ups in price for the trims on the CR-V are very significant. I was very impressed with the ZR-V. The base price on the ZR-V seemed quite pricey, but then to jump up to each specification, it was a very reasonable jump up, which was really good. On the CR-V, not so much. The jumps up are big. So let's take a look at what powers the CR-V. I'm going to pop the bonnet open. You'll notice the bonnet is quite a bit longer and higher up. It doesn't slope down as much. and it is on hydraulics, which we love to see. So all CR-Vs get the exact same engine, which is quite interesting. Plug-in hybrid or self-charging hybrid, they both have the same 2-litre naturally aspirated 4-cylinder petrol engine. Combined with the electric motors on the front wheels, on this plug-in hybrid model, you get 181 brake horsepower, and you get the exact same 181 brake horsepower on the self-charging 4-wheel drive model. So plug-in hybrid is 2-wheel drive, front-wheel drive only, and the self-charging is 4-wheel drive. I think that makes quite a bit of sense because the plug-in hybrid might be doing a lot of town driving, so the front-wheel drive works in that way, and then your self-charging hybrid, there's no need to plug in, so it might suit people more that are off-grid, if you like, or in the countryside. So that's really good. So it can get from 0 to 60 in 9.4 seconds, which isn't too bad, but of course it's the same engine as in the Civic and ZR-V, and this is a much bigger car, so it's not going to be quite as nippy. On the plug-in hybrid model like this one here, it's got a claimed range of 50 miles on EV only, which is really good compared to the competitors. For example, an X3 will do 30 miles, so that's very, very impressive. In regards to MPG figures, Honda hasn't released official figures for the PHEV, but the sales manager here has managed to get 135 miles per gallon of a mixture of EV and driving normally in this CR-V, and I know that he will have put his foot down as well. So 135 mpg is absolutely excellent. The claim for the normal EHEV is 42.8 miles per gallon, which doesn't sound incredible, but I think Honda have been quite modest with those figures because in the other cars like the Civic and the ZR-V, you can easily get very close to those figures or beat them, so that's always good to know. I'll also show you the fuel consumption here. Over 359 miles, it's average 84.1 miles per gallon, and I think a lot of that has gone down while I've been sitting in the car for a couple of hours filming because of course it's just been using the energy. The battery size in the PHEV is 17.7 kilowatts compared to the 1.4 kilowatts on the self-charging hybrid, and also this plug-in hybrid won't deplete completely. It'll just start acting as though it's an EHEV rather than the PHEV. So that's why you have that big increase in price from the Advanced to the Advanced Tech, because the Advanced Tech is your plug-in model. You've got these different buttons here, so you've got your drive mode, you've got Econ. The new modes on this one are Snow and Tow. Oh, you can hear the tow mode then, the engine just kicked in. Charging the CR-V Advanced Tech, it's capable of charging up to 7.6 kilowatts, so that means you can fully charge the 17.7 kilowatt battery in around 2.5 hours time. So it's not fast charging like you'd get on an EV. Chargers actually at the front of the vehicle. Most plug-in hybrid SUVs such as the Tiguan, also you have to plug them in at the front rather than in the rear, so it's just one of those things. But of course, if you go for the Elegance or Advanced model, you don't have to worry about plugging them in at all. Let's see what the boot space and practicality is like on the CR-V. All models get an electric tailgate. I want to see if it's a wafty one where you could do that. Oh, it is. That worked very well actually as well. Lots of cars have that feature but don't do a good job of it, so well done Honda for that. You've got this retractable load cover style thing, which is rather nice. As you can see here, we've got the lead for the plug-in hybrid, and it comes with the little bag to put the lead in, which is rather nice. Moving on to the boot size, this is where some of the newer Honda hybrids, namely the ZR-V and HR-V, will be a bit disappointing in boot size. The CR-V is no means disappointing, it's more class leading. So on the EHEV self-charging models, the Elegance and Advance, it gives a 579 litre boot. This, the plug-in hybrid model, you may think it has less. That's not right, it has more. That's because the batteries are further forward in the car, and also of course it's two-wheel drive, not four-wheel drive. That means you have 617 litres in the boot of this CR-V, because you've got loads more under storage space because of that battery. So really nice that you've got all that. It has got the lining in that looks a bit cheap, but you have the space. It really is a class leading boot space. They've really managed to utilise the space in this boot. It absolutely dwarfs the 473 litres boot space in the plug-in hybrid Tiguan, and the 483 litres of boot space in the plug-in hybrid Volvo XC60. You no longer have your releases for the back seats, which is a bit annoying, and you've got little lights as well. You can actually get an illumination pack as well for the boot at an extra cost on all cars. Should we hop in the back and see what practicality is like for your rear passengers? So the back of the CR-V, does it feel bigger? Yeah, but it was big anyway, one of the class leading cars. These are very much reclined. This is as far back as they go. I do not like sitting like this. It feels like we're taking off in an airplane, but good job. There's 8 different settings of how you want it. You've got a lever by your hip so you can be a little bit more upright. The most upright being there. So you can be very upright if you wish to be. I don't think anyone would want to sit like this, but you can see how much further back they go down. I'll show you the rear armrest as well. It doesn't hit the middle seat. It's got 2 cup holders. It's quite bulky. I have seen better premium rear armrests where you have like the buttons to pop the cup holders out, like on Audis and BMWs. So that could be a little bit better. We've got 2 USB-C ports down here, which is very nice. We've got the lovely carpet mats. They're actually so nice. I like proper carpet. The sunroof doesn't go back as far as I would have liked it to. It stops about here, so quite a far way ahead. And obviously it gives you less headroom. You don't have a lot of headroom in this car. They have carved out a little bit behind this sort of bulkhead where the lights are though. So it depends. You might have very tall passengers, they're not going to fit in the back. You do have heating as well for the rear seats, but not on the Elegance model. The Elegance model doesn't bring any heated seats. Let's sit in the middle seat. That was better. Middle seat is fairly comfortable. You don't have much of a hump in the floor, so it is quite flat, so you can just pop them there. I don't know what that would be like in the 4-wheel drive model. That might be a little bit worse in the non-plug-in models. Families will like the Isofix points because they're easy to access, but these covers are rather annoying because you will just lightly lose them. They can just be on a hinge like what other manufacturers do, where they just pop it on a hinge and put things in and out. It's just a lot better than having something that would just fall off like that. If you are looking for a 3rd row, where's the 2 rearmost seats, Sam? Oh, nowhere to be seen. That is a downside on the CR-V. Unlike one of its main rivals, the Nissan X-Trail, which has a 7-seater option available, and other cars like the Tiguan Allspace that has that as an option, the CR-V doesn't, so it's a 5-seater only. That's a bit of a shame. They could have made it a 7-seater, and I don't think it would have been too hard for them to do it. Maybe that'll come in the future, but for now we just have 5 seats on this current CR-V. Let's get to the nitty-gritty and talk cash. How much is it going to set you back? Well, the Elegance model, which is the base model, it's hard to call it a base model because it's packed with equipment, that starts at $45,895. It then goes up to the Advance, which is $48,995, and then this Advanced Tech, which starts at $53,995. It's not a cheap car at all. Comparing it though to cars like the Mercedes GLA plug-in hybrid and Range Rover Evoques, it looks like a bargain and a no-brainer. You'd pick this any day over a Mercedes GLA or over a Range Rover Evoque. I would anyway. In fact, it even has a little bit of Land Rover vibes to it, with excellent reliability, which of course Land Rovers are not known for. When we compare it to other brands though, like Nissan and Volkswagen, it seems rather expensive and a little bit hard to justify, but the tech is 100% in there, and those prices, who knows, we might see more incentives in the future. For example, in my HRV video, I did mention the price in that vehicle, and at the moment there's excellent deals on that car with £2,000 deposit contribution and extra funding through Cox Motor Group. Maybe this will have it in the future. Currently, the deposit contribution from Honda on the CR-V is a measly £1,500 for a car that costs this much money when it's £2,000 on the smaller vehicles. So it does leave you scratching your head a bit. So then the CR-V, do I think it's a good option? I think it's a great option. It's one of the latest and greatest SUVs out there, which is why it's got one of the latest and greatest prices as well, of course. So if you do want something that's the latest model and has everything on it, it's a great option. If, however, you're on a tighter budget or can't justify over £50,000 on a vehicle and you want all that hybrid technology and a large SUV, the old CR-V is a great option as well. To give you a quick example of the price differences, you can see this has got delivery mileage on this CR-V on a 23 reg, and it's 39,965 for a top model. So it is a lot cheaper. So this would be an Advance on the new one, and that starts at 48,995. So you're saving £10,000, which is a big chunk of money and definitely something worth considering. Previous generation CR-V is still a great choice if you do want to get into the Honda. Kendal Honda currently have some great offers on the pre-registered ones and also ones that are waiting at port. So if you are looking at the previous one, get in contact with them and they'll be able to help. Just let them know that you've seen my video and that will really help. And there's many of those available used and nearly new out there. If you do like this video, please make sure to hit the subscribe button down below and turn on the post notification bell so you're notified every time I upload a new video. Again, thank you to Kendal Honda for making this review possible. Links are in the description. Thank you for watching and I hope to see you in my next review.